Yo, hello, what's up, people of the internet? Welcome back to the thing I do on the internet, right? On the Google machines. It's Rhyme 9000. It's the Type QQ channel. We're blasting off in this crazy psychedelic dream of colors and flashing lights. Kind of kissing goodbye, not just all sense of reality, but any sort of hopes of one ceasing this maddening game. And not just maddening because of difficulty reasons, although I could say, yeah, this is a difficult game, but also just because this is just visually, visually intoxicating. It's not like you're on drugs. It's like you're on all the drugs, and yeah. So in the previous video, we had put some work in and finished level 1 and kind of gave up on level 2. In this video, we're hoping to get a little further than that. But we'll see. We'll see how things work out. Kind of transitioning to the next part of the stage here, but finally picking up that special weapon, going with a sort of V shooter, as we've learned in the past, that this is the weapon of choice for the first level. But I'm noticing, like, I had reset the, or not really reset, but I have, God, fuck these guys, right? Fuck you, you fucking, yeah, we changed the settings so this is recording in 60 frames per second, but I don't think it's looking much better. Maybe it'll even look a fraction worse. So who the fuck knows? I mean, I guess it could be my computer viewing it now, but here's hoping it looks better on your side, but can't imagine it would, right? If it looks shitty in my computer now, and I upload it, it's probably going to look this shitty, right? So, hey, first try, we're going to take on the boss. And you would think, after the time we spent with it just a moment ago, we'll have this in the bag. Well, immediately fucking taking damage. We're sitting there with like a pretty good advantage, hitting two things at once, getting two birds stoned at once, and first bullet hits us right between the eyes. Quality stuff there. Luckily there's a healing item popping around there. Taking down those front two legs there. There we go. Good is good. Now if we can not just take on damage goddamn immediately. But as you notice, this guy's turned red. Isn't that fucked up? Like, like shit. We were expected to kill this guy 500 years ago. This boss was to show up and you're supposed to just fucking kill him. I was like, man, there must be something huge in this game that we're just missing, maybe there's a fucking super attack button that we haven't really figured out, but all the same. Or maybe we're just expected not to be this bad. Taking on damage there. Again, not the most optimal play when you're trying to kill a boss is to get hit by its bullets. Can't say I recommend it too much. A sort of lucky bounce there. Sort of blink and you miss it. Healing item. And hey, you can't ask for better than one shot, one kill, one run, beating that first level. Couldn't have asked for a better time, right? We're focusing on the second level, and what do? Just breeze right through the first level. Good. So we also hope that kind of this breeziness continues on to the second level. Fingers crossed. Buttholes clenched. You know, drug fluids dripping into our spinal columns. Oh yeah, the bouncing fireballs, they can go with 90% of other enemies in this fucking game. And what we're learning right now, quickly in this level 2 here, is that each of these enemies, maybe not each of them, maybe not every enemy, but there's a good amount of these enemies that have a particular way of attacking, and there's a particular way of countering them and killing them without taking damage. And really figuring it out is the key of never taking damage from them again. But it also does remove the flexibility of defeating them how you like. It's kind of like, like, oh sure, especially with these guys as well. It's kind of like, if we're talking about Pokemon or something, it's like, okay, you got a grass-type Pokemon. You could beat this grass-type Pokemon any way you'd like, even with another grass-type Pokemon, I guess. You can grind the fuck right off, peel each individual scale off its face until it's dead. But if you take the, the opposite, element, then you tear it apart instantly, And that's kind of how how this works in no way, shape, or form. And only the slightest way possible. In the way of meaning there's like seemingly one strategy and really zero room to move around. And I'm not so sure I'm the hugest fan of that, to be completely honest. I sort of believe in these sort of inherent natural skill, natural talent that you can develop playing these type of games that you should be able to take from one game to the other with moderate success. I'm not saying, the first thing that comes to mind as that bullet passes through it is that, if you're good at one Toho game, there's a good chance you're going to be good at, a good number of them as well. At least until you figure out, certain bosses, certain levels, and then you're good to go, And I think that's unfair to say, hey, every one of these games should be very similar, schmuckety, that sort of thing. But I'm not so sure that these two guys should always kill you unless you're in the right place at the right time, shooting at the right angle, Now, as you can tell, they're kind of like, they sort of bend inwards. They like fly forward and then bend in. And they shoot this sort of arc of bullets across the screen. These fireballs. So we're learning there that if you kind of go up to the top of the screen where they kind of converge, you can kind of shoot them. And at that point, they don't shoot you back. But here we are. Another problem arises. It's like the leaky submarine. When we fix one hole, another one starts leaking water. However, that's a leaky submarine. Don't Google that, because that's a double, triple, quadruple entendre there. Yeah, those fireballs are a counter to this sort of V shot, if there ever was one. Or two, as I stutter, right? And these guys are assholes. Following the enemy that has a particular way of defeating it is another enemy that has a particular way of defeating it, but different, right? And it's just a matter of like, okay, fucking gotta trudge through, the rest of this, the beginning of this stage, where I have to remember just how to defeat everything, on memory and no other skill whatsoever. To a point where I now have to figure out what the trick is with the next enemy, right? I mean, granted, like these sort of floaty white eyeball guys are just like, sure, whatever. Ah, oh, very close to that health pickup there. But it is the problem when you're cranking down on the fire button. You know, your movement is wow. Your movement is slow as shit. So, you know, there's many parts of this game where you want to just, you know, kill everything in sight, but then some of these fireballs are bouncing around like assholes, and you gotta dodge. I guess we're doing a little bit of both there. Unlocked Montoya from escaping the ringer. Initially, I thought that's exactly how you defeat these guys. Some more pickups there. Initially, that's how I thought, you know, because, you know, they start off wide around you, and then if you can kind of skim around them to that sort of weakened, sort of like glass Metroid back of them, you can kill them off rather easily. So I thought, yeah, sure, that's how you do it. So you'll see a lot of that, of me dashing through and getting myself killed, because a few of them show up in succession, and then this one of the final ones really closes in quickly. And also they don't necessarily close in on your position. They kind of lock you into a position of where they're kind of converging as well. You know, it's not like you can go in the center of the screen and kind of get as much space as you want. Like that final one pulls you into this corner. So if you wanted to kind of, you know, move to the left or move down, you're out of it. You know, there's no room to. So early on here, we're trying to escape the sort of swinging ring, and finding that we're at least getting like nickeled and dimed by these enemies to fucking death, you know. But this weird sort of targeting aim system is coming off of it, so it's going to take us a while, but we'll figure it out. Or maybe not, right? But I gotta say, you know, I gotta be completely honest. You know, I have been enjoying this game. I haven't been playing it for a ton. I have liked this game. I think visually this game is goddamn A+. I think, you know, the controls could be better. And I think, you know, level design wise, I think it could use a lot of work. You know, there's a lot of enemies that are absolutely brainless and stand there to get blown up, or they fucking just kill you because you have no idea how to deal with them. There's this giant swath of either, you know, absolutely easy popcorn numb enemies to strange mini boss like traps like these assholes. And I don't know. I'm not so sure I'm completely turned on by that, to be completely honest, in a weird way of expressing that. You know, because, you know, if level 2 is an example of the rest of the game, what we're going to do is essentially just crawl through this game. Like, it will be beaten, but it will be at a crawl's pace of like, okay, what's the next mob? You know, next mob is this sort of enemy that has this weird thing, and you have to do this weird thing exactly in this way to defeat it. And then once you've kind of mastered it, you'll never take damage from it again. However, it'll take you 5 times to discover it because it's so bizarre. And it's going to be like that through 5 levels of trial and error until, like, okay, great. But, you know, I don't know. That doesn't sound particularly fulfilling or challenging. You know, it just sounds like a grind. And it sounds like, yeah, just like weird, tedious work, you know, that like I you know, it doesn't feel like you're I mean, I guess you're learning different enemies and different attack patterns, but it doesn't feel like you're learning, right? You know, it's like a cheesy memory game when you have, like, you know, 10 cards upside down. When you finally discover where all the cards are, I mean, that's great. So you know where the star card is, and you know where the leaf card is. Great. Are you fucking smarter? I don't know. I don't think so, right? So you know where the diamond card is. Great. Now go get a job, right? Like, I think it's knowledge that's only good, and for, you know, only good for the 3 seconds it becomes applicable in this level, in this game alone, right? There's a health pickup that we certainly do need. These final 2 options of weapons, like this sort of barrage of large orbs, as well as the sort of missiles, both are pretty awesome. Someday we will be sick and tired of being killed by that enemy, right? I mean, that's essentially it. You know, there becomes a breaking point where, like, all right, we're not doing this right. You know, we have to try something else entirely. You know, and as you can tell, you know, we've killed the thing instantly, but from behind. You know, we've sat in the middle of that sort of ring and just shot our brains out. And the things don't die, so they don't take damage while you're inside of it, while you're shooting at the front of them. So, you know, sitting there in the middle shooting, it seems to be, you know, a futile effort. And you can tell after that sort of targeting thing, it moves. It moves and then disappears. So I really, you know, I think we're starting to kind of piece it together and starting to understand, like, okay, I get it. It's not an enemy you kill. It's a little, you know, obstacle course. You go inside the little halo, you move with it to the point that it sort of telegraphs it first, and then it disappears. Okay. So we're finally stopped firing like an idiot. We attempted to move with it, but still took damage. Yeah. And I mean, firing on it at the same time while moving, we're just kind of clouding up the bullshit, right? Making it hard to see, but yeah, that's essentially it. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe this is just level 2, you know, the famous, or rather infamous, right? The infamous level 2 in Rhyme 9000, you know, the meat grinder, the wood chipper level that, you know, 90% of gamers don't complete, you know. You know, this is the famous level that, you know, gets all the scrubs out and keeps only the most elitist of, you know, elitist of elite players, right? There it is. So that's how you defeat that enemy. You know, maybe that's the case, and maybe I'm wrong about it. But yeah, if this game is all, you know, well, you got to learn this weird, strange enemy now. Like, you know, I'm tapping out. You know, it's kind of like, you know, I love your Rhyme 9000, but, you know, you can't be on fucking, you know, heroin 24/7. Okay? You know, this has you have to be fucking. This has to be some sort of You gotta make sense. You gotta fucking chill out, you know? You know, you can't be the most fucking extreme fucking game fucking ever. And these fucking guys, these guys are the fucking worst. The sort of blink in, blink out fireballs. Good God, we haven't even touched upon the hellish nightmare that these blink in, blink out. These guys, oh, hell. And there's two of them on the screen now. That you can only attack them when they're attacking you. So it's one of those things, like, you have to run, create a lot of space, and then shoot back at them. But yeah, like, you know, like I was saying, like, you know, I like the game. The game's quite enjoyable, but it's one of those things where it's like, you know, for this relationship to work, it has to go both ways. You know, I'm trying to accept you and go, well, okay, you know, Rhyme 9000, you know, you sound good, you look good, you play good, but, you know, I think you're addicted to meth, and, you know, in fact, I see you smoking it right now, you know, out of a hobo skull, I'm guessing. Something fucking insane, right? You know, drinking blood and smoking meth. And, you know, you have to meet me, at least closer than that. Oh, and another thing, worst thing is that I had said, like, guys, just hold on. We'll check out all this lore stuff, and you know, in the next video. And then next video came and I plain fucking forgot. So, my apologies. Maybe if Volume 3 comes around, which you know, yeah, let's I'll promise you a Part 3. We'll make sure before this god dang it finishes that. Or I just tap out. Look at these fuckers. Fuck off, you. It just doesn't end. We'll check out those lore little thingies as well. We need that. Don't like how it's just kind of popping up in the front of the screen for exact reasons, right? Wretched fucks those guys are. Yeah. So it's kind of, yeah, this whole level is, okay, so you've finished one bizarre, unique, you know, enemy. Here's another one, you know. You're like, oh, fuck, here we go. You know, so, okay, I gotta figure this out, I gotta figure that out. Alright, now I gotta fight the guys that sort of, yeah, killed them at the top of the screen. Okay, I gotcha. Now stop shooting and dodge the fireballs. And then, okay, stop shooting and then stay within the rings. Okay, I gotcha. And then, okay, run away from the blinking fireballs and then shoot them when you're far away. Like, okay, Jesus Christ. Like, what more do you want from me? It's like turning into like a dance rhythm game. And a fucking troll weapon punches me in the face. You're like, you want me to step left and step right, because there's no way to progress the game unless I do precise movements in the way you want me to, in tune with this David Bowie song. One thing you notice is that when one ring ends, that's when the other one starts, so you don't really want to move too far. Oh, this miserable bastard. Trying to make some space. Luckily, you can kind of spend all the time you want with them. And then, thankfully, a generous, almost like instant pickup. You know, where they're on the left side of the screen. And, you know, from the left side of the screen, there's a sort of health pickup that just kind of collides with our bodies. So... However, not a weapon that's very conducive of taking out those big demonic gears there, but all the same, fuckers. These motherfuckers. Some good space there. Not enough. Jesus Christ, there's one down at least. And a healthy. Good. Good. Sort of double twisty, as we're just kind of coming up with nicknames for enemies now. Just don't have the firepower to kill these guys like we once did. Oh shit. Oh shit. It is an interesting thing though that as we're taking on damage, we do get stronger. Another killed all the popcorns, so we're now uber elite. Don't patronize me. Don't patronize me. All right, second level boss. God damn it, we at least came to this motherfucker, hurling our worthless corpse at him. Go ahead, take us. Looks like a couple targets there on the left and right of the eye, but there it is. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Hey, we made it to the level 2 boss. God damn it. Good enough for me. And good enough for you, because you don't have a goddamn choice. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, do all that stuff. And we'll come back and play some more in the future.